Good afternoon. It is myself and Harry joining me today on the Daily Live. We were having a little think before, me and James. James is now officially a master, by the way. He's now an official master. Just from now on. But you've earned that, though, because Ned wanted us to call him a scientist, and he hadn't earned it. But I think you've earned the title of master.
Thank you.
I won't say any more than that. That James graduated yesterday, and he's now, because he's not just a person with large shoes. He is. Tell what's your degree? What's that degree in?
I got a master's in sports journalism.
Sports journalism, and now he's just a button monkey.
Oh, he can't even hear you.
He can't come up. He can't even come up with titles, and he's a sports journalist.
I come up with titles and you get shut down.
Yeah, I think that says everything you need to know. Again, as I said there, we were sort of struggling what to talk about today. We've sort of ran out of things to talk about. Harry went on the Everton tour last night, the late night Everton tour. I mean, when I say it like that, it sounds a bit seedy, doesn't it? Late night Everton tour. There used to be a late night Everton tour, but it was nowhere around the ground. It was more by Everton Valley. But again, we will not talk about that. How was that?
It was good because it was different to like the original tour. They took you around all like the concourses of all the stands, and it was pitch black in there, so it was like eerie. But it was just nice again to see the stadium probably for the last time in the dark, which is sad.
But not the last time.
Well, as long as they don't move the Southampton game.
What if they do? I mean,
I'll be fuming if they do.
Don't move the Southampton game. But why would you miss that game if it was moved?
Well, no, I wouldn't miss it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying.
Oh, you say that was a night game?
Yeah.
Don't move. Just going to say it. Don't move the Southampton game.
It should just be 2:00 on the Sunday.
Yeah. It's 2:00 on the Sunday.
Yeah.
It won't be, but R4, well, I'll accept also. So obviously that tour, Everton have started using the brains a little bit this year.
Yeah.
I'll just say it now. The last year at Goodison has been a little bit hit and miss, I think, in terms of like events.
Yeah.
There was events early on that were planned that never happened.
They were too overpriced, weren't they?
I never said that. I never said that. He said that. And he's still a child, so there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
They were pricey for some people. The people who were going, Trenter and Stachelhurst, no one wants to hear from them. But also they were at the wrong time. They were at the early part of the season where, number one, people were still obviously people being very worried about staying up all season until literally maybe a few weeks ago. So trying to get that emotion to talk about like the ground and stuff's been really hard. So those things never happened, and Everton never said it was because no one was buying tickets. But if anyone looked at the ticket thing beforehand, not many have been sold. So just on that front, are you happy? Was the tour last night something where you can actually go, I can have this walk round? Obviously, it's a guided tour, but I feel like I can look round the old place, remember things, learn new things, without too much pressure of being like ex-players or Q&As, reasonably priced. Is that the kind of thing? Is that like a good way for you to remember Goodison?
Yeah, I think it was nice because probably a lot of the people that are doing the tour probably aren't going to go to the last 4 games. Yeah. So I imagine it probably was their last time having a look around. So I think it was just important for people just to get a feel of what it's like. Because at dark it is different as well. It's got like that feeling with it, with Goodison.
Are you surprised that we're almost in April now? Obviously the season finishes in May. Are you surprised that we know nothing, literally nothing about the final 2 months of Goodison Park? Because obviously we don't know anything about what's happening on the final day, and that's fine in terms of what actually happens. I've got no problem. The only thing I'm worried about is when it is. I've said it before, it should be the Sunday. I think most people agree with me. It should be the Sunday. It's about people, without any disrespect to anybody, it's about the people who go to the game, who are going to be there that day, the emotions of the day, and saying goodbye to people you've been sitting around with for years and just not having to get up and go because it's late at night and people, you'd have to either stay over or travel or whatever. A lot of people would have to travel. I just totally believe it should be a day where we all get to just chill out after the match and enjoy a couple of hours of being able to leave whenever we wanted. Anyway, so whatever's happening though after the game, we don't know, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I want there to be surprises. But there's nothing else being scheduled at all, has there? There's been absolutely nothing other than these tours. There was a muted festival because, and we know that, because Everton was asking local residents about the planning permission. That seems to have disappeared. Maybe they were worried that if it happened the week after the season, if Liverpool had got to, say, a Champions League final, it could have clashed with the final or a tour, the bus and all that. But obviously I think Liverpool, when they win the Premier League, it'll be on the bank holiday Monday, the day after our game, so we won't really have to worry about that. But are you surprised that there aren't any other events that have been launched or brought up for like you just said there, people who might not be able to go?
Yeah, that Q&A that was like meant to happen at the beginning of the year, I think if they did that now, let's say they got like Tim Cahill and a couple others to go on it, I think it would be quite high in demand now.
Yeah.
Just because people won't be going to Goodison much anymore, and there are people that want to go for the last time. So I think if they did things like that, especially in the next few weeks, then it would have been good, but it's a bit late now. So I think it is a bit odd they haven't said anything. Is
there anything, you mentioned Kale there or something like that, is there anything sort of, I don't know, a little bit left field that you'd like to have seen, something a little bit different?
Maybe if they did like a charity match or something.
Yeah, with fans.
They'd be like the fans doing it.
Playing in it?
Yeah.
No, God forbid, no.
Because I've never played at Goodison.
Well, I have, and I'm unlucky. I've played 10 times. Scored a hat-trick last time. Don't mention that very often.
Was someone watching as well when you scored that hat-trick?
Stephen Pienaar was watching, and Jamie Carragher was playing. I don't like to mention that very often. No, I keep that quiet. That doesn't get put out there that often.
But if they did something like a charity match or something, just for more people to go to.
But wouldn't you be worried? So, okay, would that game be before the end of the season or after the end of the season?
I think I'd do it before. I think Southampton should be like the end. That should be like the curtains.
All right. Well, I'm gonna destroy your argument, and I'm sorry because you're a young man, but I feel like you need it a little bit.
Yeah.
The pitch will get.
Yeah.
The ground's gonna go mad.
Yeah.
And then after the season, the idea of people playing on that pitch is a little bit, because you imagine how nuts that would be. But no,
I think just after the Southampton game, I probably don't want to go into Goodison again.
I don't think anyone should go. And I know this is the argument for other teams playing in that ground and stuff like that. I think at the end of this season, it should be it. We should move on. Yeah, the legacy should finish with the end of this season. As it is now. You could if you want to rebuild it for the women's team.
Yeah,
go ahead, but you'd have to rebuild it. An idea I had was on the anniversary of the European Cup Winners' Cup, 40 years. My idea was a charity game, Goodison. Not a charity game such, but one of these Legends games. So Liverpool have these Legend games all the time. They had one to do over the weekend. They played Chelsea. And obviously, they've got, let's just say, a higher standard of ex-player than we have. But I think we could still knock a good team together. But these play these games, and we saw the one. Tottenham played Milan, didn't he?
Yeah.
Milan. Tottenham played Milan, didn't he? Sorry.
Inter or AC?
No, there's only one.
Which one?
Sorry, what?
Which one of them?
You haven't got it. If you want to be called master, you got to toe the line. And we saw Pirlo score that worldie, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I would love to have seen Everton play maybe like a European All-Stars team of ex-players, where it's like the starting 11 from Rotterdam come up in like the mock-up kit that Story could do. And imagine that. Imagine having a mock-up, like a tribute kit that then everyone could buy afterwards. And then that team would start. But then they'd all go off after, they'd all come on, take their bows, and then one by one, the game would stop for them as they're all applauded off. And then they'd be replaced by younger people, Tony Hibbert, Leon Osman, Pienaar, a Cahill, Andy Johnson's of the world, whoever, the players who played in the Premier League era was still fit and you could play this European 11. Yeah. That would have been my idea for a brilliant trip. Number one, that would have been Emma. I am not flogging a dead horse with the Milan thing. They are called Milan. I won't tell you again. It's like calling Everton FC. Honest to God. So for the 40th anniversary, full house at Goodison.
Yeah.
So another opportunity for people to go to the game, and it would be the last time those people. Obviously, they get to play Goodison for one last time. That to me is an idea that other football clubs would have done.
Yeah.
And
they've got to do something. They can't just let it be just the matches. I don't think.
So I'm surprised that Everton haven't sort of announced anything or anything else yet. I find it all a little bit strange because now everyone's in that sort of mode where they're like, let's celebrate Goodison now. The emotion is there now. I think a lot of people, everyone's happy, relieved, and we're over the line. So everyone's like chilled out a little bit, so everyone can enjoy those things without thinking, oh God. You know, even going to the first test event at the new stadium, it was a couple of days after Crystal Palace, wasn't it? We'd won at Crystal Palace, so we'd drawn with Liverpool, and then we beat Crystal Palace. And everyone was so relaxed because it felt like we were safe, basically then, because we beat Palace. And even that, and then obviously going on... Imagine the feeling going to... You were there on Sunday, weren't you?
Yeah.
So it was just chilled, wasn't it? Everyone's dead happy. But imagine if we were still in a relegation battle. Everyone
intense. I think people wouldn't have gone. People wouldn't have wanted to. Just because... I was talking to the tour guide yesterday, and he was saying about how he went to the game on Sunday, and it did feel like you were just cheating on Goodison. It didn't feel right. Like, it makes it really hit home, because it does just make you think in like 2 months' time, we probably won't go into Goodison ever again. Yeah. Which is weird when you think about it.
So, I mean, I feel like there's stuff we could still do, and we're not doing it. And I am disappointed that... Yeah, that's anyway. I'm not disappointed we're not doing more. But anyway, just turning our attention to the new stadium. Obviously, we were both there on Sunday, and you can, when you're in there or when you're around there, you do feel sort of what's achievable with the ground, with a ground that size. And a lot of people were talking about were mentioning, on the show to us about the concrete and stuff like that, and now it has to be Everton. Have Everton all over it, and we know in the middle section there is going to be LED boards going around that middle section, which is a big thing, an important thing. But someone was mentioning the seats yesterday. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Someone was mentioning the seats. Now, what talking about like the seats and stuff. We jokingly said, get Adidas, because obviously we want Adidas or something like that. But is that something that you would like to see within the stadium? Is straight off the bat having like a naming rights, so it's called whatever the brand, we have a sponsor that goes with that, and we have within the ground a seating area that is whatever our kit maker is or whatever our sponsor is are they the things that for you straight away we need to do with this stadium to capitalise on it?
Well, I think the new stadium is going to attract more investment. It's going to get better deals just from it being probably up there with some of the best stadiums in the world now, because it's brand new. So people have mentioned like Qatar Airlines and stuff. So I think the new stadium can attract big deals like that, and I think it would be important just to get the revenue up. Yeah. And having it in the stadium, although people might not want the ground to be known as like the Qatar Arena or something, but if it brings in the money, then it's kind of the whole point of us having the new stadium. Yeah,
well, no, you're absolutely right. And I've seen a couple of things yesterday that actually some large like news outlets were calling the stadium Bramley Moor or Bramley Moor Dock. And I was straight away, I was like, that's not what Everton wants. Everton want to call the Everton Stadium. Whether you agree with that or not, that's not the point. It's like when a club puts it forward its assets to channels and stuff, whether it be the badge or whether we hear Tottenham saying not supposed to call them Tottenham. That's the point. Yeah. Tottenham recently saying no, we're Tottenham Hotspur or we're Spurs. We're not just Tottenham. Yeah. I know Liverpool have changed it so that their badges now on TV are just the liver bird and that's their asset. So it's the same with the stadium. If you change your name to a name, that's what it has to be called when it's on TV. And we have no issue calling the Emirates You know, that's how everyone calls it. The Etihad, everyone calls it the Etihad. You don't even think about it; just rolls off the tongue. I think that's why it's important, isn't it? I think it's important that that deal is done straight away, so that we are monetarising that stadium straight away. We are, and automatically it becomes, you know, we'll call it what we want to call it. I call Goodison the ground. Yeah. So I just go, you go on the ground. You don't go. It's almost like it's just that's the shorthand for it, and it'll be the same. You go on the ground sort of thing. It's not doesn't necessarily say you're going to Goodison because we all know what it is because it's our thing. But obviously when you're on TV and stuff, you've got to call it right. And you mentioned there, like if it was like one of the airlines or something, Qatari Airlines or Qatari Airlines Arena. Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful. I must admit, isn't it? That's a bit of a mouthful, but those, you feel like those deals have to be in straight away so we can establish that brand and therefore we're getting the most for that brand.
Well, yeah, I think it's just once you've got it there, people just naturally, like you said, just start calling it like unconsciously, like you said, the Emirates. We just call it the Emirates now. So the quicker you get that, I think the better, and the more money we're getting in as soon as possible, then it's just got a bit of benefit, hasn't it? Yeah.
And for me, that's got to work with the sponsor as well. I think the sponsor, I'm not sure, but we know that. I think the gambling sponsors have only got one more year, I think.
Yeah.
But I think this is a great opportunity now to get away from the stake deal because, I mean, we're already being warned not to use them because we know they're not actually allowed to be in this country anymore. They don't operate in this country and we've been warned. So this would be a good opportunity to walk away from them, wouldn't he? Because I know a lot of people don't like that sponsor. What I would say about that sponsor is that sponsor's paid a lot of money, a lot more than maybe the going rate.
Yeah.
And has really helped in the last few years. So whatever you believe on this side, unfortunately, cold hard cash on the other side was always going to top it. But if we can get that synergy, we can get that the sponsor on the shirt, the naming rights straight off the bat, we're making money straight away, aren't we? And obviously we know how hugely important that is for PSR and stuff like that.
I think with the shirt sponsor as well, if we get something like Toyota or something, it does just, because they're a big company, it does just kind of get more eyes on Everton, really.
Yeah.
Because I think it just builds the reputation just to show these lot actually mean business.
Well, we had the conversation a few years back, and it actually was a few years back now. We'd heard of a potential quite a few years back now of Facebook being one of Everton's sponsors, but they wouldn't actually pay any money. So basically, it was muted that Facebook would be the sponsor. It was more like, imagine them Facebook promoting you.
Yeah.
So we know now the way the world is, how things get forced onto our feeds. So imagine Everton being forced almost onto people's feeds.
Yeah.
And you wonder whether that would be weird. Like you've just said, if it's a big brand, you're almost getting that brand to promote you as well. Because it looks, a lot of people look at, we haven't got any stakes over, but a lot of people look at steak and don't even know what steak is.
No.
Or didn't know what Keijan was, or didn't know what Chang was, or didn't know what certainly didn't know what NEC was when that first started. So there is a thing of like, can you get the sponsor to work for you? And we've seen this with like kit deals. Like if you've got like Adidas or like Nike as your brand, that you're almost straight away part of their advertising campaign, not your avatar. And suddenly that you have people like LeBron James walking around wearing like Liverpool gear and stuff like that, or whatever it is. They promote your brand, and I suppose that's where we've got to get to, isn't it? Where we've got those brands helping us, not just us wearing their brand on our shirt.
Yeah, because the more you're recognised by people because of the brand, the more money you are going to make anyway. Even if the deal isn't, let's say, I'm sure Toyota probably would pay more than Stake, but let's say they didn't, just because they're a bigger, more well-known like brand, have probably got more assets as well. I think it will just benefit the club even more.
No, you're right, because there's an idea of cash just is everything, but if you've got I'm not saying a dodgy brand, but if you've got a really sort of there's an element in the Premier at the moment where they've got these sponsors, betting sponsors, that literally don't mean anything. They don't go anywhere, and there's been a lot of investigations, and I know ours is sort of a halfway. It is legitimate, but obviously people do have concerns about it. But there's some of them out there that don't even seem to be real.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you have a brand that is, you want the money. But if it's like a long-term relationship and there's a real benefit of being with these companies, then it doesn't half make a difference. And of course you want them, if you've got one of these legitimate names sponsoring your stadium as well, and it does have you can call it, you're calling it something that's synonymous with things we use every single day.
Yeah.
It really does help, doesn't it? It really establishes that you're like a proper company going somewhere, and you've got really good relationships with big brands, and then other big brands might be attracted by that.
Yeah, and I think Toyota would probably be easier as well because they've already like the connection with the Friedkins.
Yeah.
Just so if that can be done or something like that as quick as possible, then we can go into the new stadium already with like a name and like all the seats and stuff done straight away, and then it's just starting from like a new era, really. Yeah.
You do. I mean, I'm not sure whether. I'm sure they could get the. I'm sure they could get like the seats in there and stuff over the summer if it's something that's done. But because we were talking about it yesterday in here as well about like the kit. Obviously, the same kits that we'd absolutely love, like an Adidas. We'd all love an Adidas one, but they're going so big on Liverpool, and they've gone so big on Newcastle that I'm not sure they'd come in. There are relationships there, obviously. The Roma have already got an Adidas kit, and who knows, maybe that relationship could be made better with the Friedkins. Friedkin get in there going, well, we've done well for you for Roma, we can do the same for Everton. And if you have both teams in the city, then because there are some people who won't buy Adidas stuff if Liverpool have got it. So maybe you've got both teams and suddenly you can go from there. But I was saying yesterday about the guy who founded Castori was on LinkedIn, and he was saying about Umbro, because they've got the license for Umbro. They can, and I was saying, like, if they've got any sense, they'd give us an Umbro kit again, because obviously we're synonymous. We've got 3 there, and straight away, that's for me, that's Kevin Campbell, that's what we won the league in, and that's Peter Beardsley straight away. I just know those kits straight away. We're synonymous there. But even with that, it's like, if they've got the license for Umbro, why aren't they doing the retro gear? Like, why aren't they bringing that kit and that kit have their badges were added after the fact? So why couldn't you have those kits made again, but with Umbro on them, or even reproduce that kit and have it Umbro, because you can do that now. And we own, like, retro footy kits are massively back in. These things are like really important. They make money. All Adidas have just launched their Adidas, like, gone back to the old badge, and people are going crazy for it. It's like, these are the things we should be doing to make money. It's like these we've been missing a trick for years, and we can't miss that trick anymore, as far as I'm concerned.
I think if they actually made the use of using them retro kits, people would buy them, just because some of the stuff they come out with on the shop isn't great. And
no, it's not.
If it being Castora as well, it's not.
I don't. By the way, the Castori stuff.
Some of the Goodison stuff's been.
I don't mind. I think the training gear is really good. The kits. I think the fact that home kit's our last ever kit. Yeah. I think that's a bit like.
It was last season's kit that had more to do with Goodison than actually this year's.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like, I like the third kit, the away kit. I can take it or leave it. It's just like I'll never remember it.
I think they should have just done a retro kit for the last year at Goodison, just if they'd done like 87 or something.
Well, they should have done a retro kit for the last game of the season. Yeah. But that seems to have.
I don't think they'll be doing that.
Don't think there doesn't seem to be any plans for that. Again, there's where's the plans for that? But Emma says my worry is Red Bull will get it. No, I don't think Red Bull will get it, Emma. I don't think they would. I think we're just a sponsor. We've just got a sponsorship deal with them. That's all. They've got money in Leeds, so I could imagine Ellen Road might become the Red Bull Ellen Road ground or something. But I can't imagine Red Bull coming to us, because it's a bigger thing. Fletcher says, I'm not a fan of Adidas personally. I've always found them associated with Liverpool, therefore I won't touch it. I really want Nike back at Everton. However, I understand it's the highest bidder. Nike wouldn't come in for us because Nike have pulled out of the majority of football now. They're not doing a lot of football. They're doing a lot more women's football and a lot more athletics. I love the Adidas stuff, but I do get your point. We need to do a deal with Heinz for the blue ketchup.
Yeah.
We need that because they used to do that blue ketchup. So I don't know where Everton have got their blue ketchup. Maybe someone just poured a little bit of blue food colouring. But we need to do a deal with Heinz to get this over the line, personally, because that's the future, isn't it? Blue ketchup's the future.
Beans on toast at half time.
Why not? Would you have blue beans on toast?
I mean, if it's at Bramley Moor, maybe. If it's
Be a
synonymous with
delicacy.
Everton, yeah.
Be a delicacy if it was that. They do that thing where it's like they call it something fancy, and the next minute you're paying £18 for it, which is not that much dearer than the pies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing Everton needs to sort out. Those food places are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolute ridiculous. And that's not even... I've seen a few people go, oh, get over yourself. It's like, mate, pies aren't going to sort out our PSR, are they? They're not going to sort out our PSR.
That's why these commercial deals are important, just because it means they can take less pressure off the fans spending more money.
Yeah, exactly.
And put it more on commercial deals.
No, you're absolutely right. This idea that, like, I've seen this before. It's like, about loads of, like, mine. Tickets is the biggest one when people go, shouldn't worry about your tickets because blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not going to solve our PSR. Pies aren't going to sort our PSR. They're just not. Get people inside the ground and offer them good food that is competitively priced, or alcohol that's competitively priced, and people come in the ground. And the more people in the ground, the more people who will be buying things just in general. So, and all the other stuff that goes with it. But yeah, I just really hope that we're set up for next season. And as I said, Castori, I'd like to see it become Umbro, and that's still Castori, and that's no disrespect to Castori, but I think we've got a history with Umbro, and then we can bring out all the old gear, and I think that would sell really well. But I just hope, as I said, we have naming rights in place and we start making the most out of this stadium, because as we've been talking about the last few days about travel and stuff like that, it is really important that Everton do make money from this stadium. That'll mean concerts in the summertime, hopefully like 6 concerts. We've spoke about the possibility of opening an arena. I think, to me, that's a no-brainer, as long as the owners are willing to put the money in, and it's a good, they can fill in the dock and all that kind of thing. That, to me, is a no-brainer. And then hopefully all that other stuff gets sorted out. We hope the transport stuff gets sorted out well before that. But then you've got to get that stuff sorted then.
I think with just having like you said, just even something simple as just having the seats done with, like, if it is Umbro or if it's whatever it's going to be, I think just going in for that first game of the season with it looking finished would make it feel more like home already. If you go in and, like, the seats aren't done, and then in a few weeks' time they are, it just feels like everything's changing still.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I mean, the seats are done. Let's
if you want them to be, like, changed, like, patterns, whatever.
No, I mean, this is a small thing, isn't it? This is a small thing.
It just makes it different, the feel of it.
MB, when are we selling 20 million pies, mate? I know you're joking. How long would it take to sell 20 million pies? James is going to work it out because he's a master. No, because, again, going back to naming rights, if you have a big artist playing at the stadium, they're going to be playing the name of the stadium. We know the rugby league's coming in November, and that'll be, you imagine, because it's an Ashes test, that'll be sold out.
Yeah.
That'll be, if there's a sponsor, it'll be at the arena. And if we try and get the Magic weekends, if we try and get, like, it's funny listening to people. It's funny listening to people saying, it's only be a football stadium for every 2 weeks. Like, the point being is it's going to be a destination that people go, hopefully, all year round for whatever reason. And hopefully we have concerts, and we do have... Go on.
I don't have it.
Can't work it out.
No, I just don't know how many pies do Everton sell on average.
Let's say sell like 15,000 a game.
Yeah, just go with 10,000.
10,000.
Just go with 10,000. I still think that's a little bit too many, but just go with 10,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope if we can get the concerts in, which I imagine would be like 6 a year.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works. And then you tack on a couple of other events, maybe some football internationals. Me and Baz.
Euros is already.
Me and Baz have spoken about like trying to get a deal with, don't know, one of the South American well, not one of the. There's a company that looks after a lot of these teams.
So 105 seasons.
Yeah.
Every home game if we sold 2,000 pies.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
105 seasons.
Let's start eating now. Start getting there now. If we got a deal with I know, as I said, there's a company that looks after a lot of the international teams. If we could get a deal with them so that we could get some international games, Brazil, Argentina.
If they played like every home game or something, like when they were over here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they do that much anymore, because the calendar just seems that full. It doesn't seem like they play any friendlies anymore. But I know what you mean, because there was a chance that there was a time where they were playing home games over here. Nigeria used to play home games.
Yeah.
If we used to play Fulham, be really brilliant if we could do that. I know Argentina played at the Etihad a couple of years ago. Be brilliant if we could get those kind of games. I've seen Brazil play at Anfield.
Yeah.
I was in media. Just want to make sure I was in media. That was in 2000 and God, that was like 2018. Before that World Cup, I went to watch the game against Croatia. So Neymar. So there are loads of opportunities, and that's why we've got to get those sponsors in. And sponsors means money. Money means players.
Yeah.
That's all you got to remember when you're talking about naming rights and when you're talking about kit deals and sponsors on the shirt. Ultimately it means players. And that's all that matters, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. But that was the whole point of the new stadium, really, because Goodison doesn't produce enough match day revenue and then doesn't bring in enough commercial deals. So if we can actually make the use of that at the new stadium and actually make the most of it, then
Rich. Just on Custori, mate. Umbro. So Custori own the license for Umbro. So it wouldn't actually be moving anywhere. I know Custori are a founding partner of the stadium. So it wouldn't actually be Custori going anywhere. It would still be Custori. The deal would still be with Custori. It's just that it would be Umbro on our kits because they own the license. So there's no issue with that. So a Custori team could become an Umbro team, and an Umbro team could become a Custori team, and it would just be what range they have. That's all it is. So it wouldn't be actually leaving Custori; it'd just be using Umbro as the template, and therefore we could use all our. We could still do it anyway. Everton could bring out this summer a range of retro gear, and Custori could still be our kit sponsor. Ireland did it last week. They brought out a St. Patrick's Day kit, and it was an Umbro kit. But they still wore Custori the weekend when they play. Yeah. So the kit could still be Custori. It's just that we could have a load of gear out. We could have that shirt out with Umbro on, or that shirt. Any shirt we've ever worn, as long as you can get the sponsor to agree to it, which I think after a certain time it doesn't really matter. You've just got to do that. I think we've got to do that. Oswald says, as an American, I watch sports franchises over here, monetize everything, and I just want Everton to capitalise on every opportunity and not leave money on the table. But that's it in a way, though, isn't it? But I don't want them to capitalise on everything. Yeah. Like, I don't want it to be like every single thing is monetarised, because I think then you get away from football in general, isn't it?
Well, it's the way football's going. All the How many is it? 13 now in the league have got American owners. So it is just going to be them. Now we've got them in. It'll be them just trying to get every penny out of like everything. I was watching a video the other day, as boring as I am, and it was about the future of sports stadiums in America. And it was about this one, I think it was New Orleans? And it was showing how they changed the stadium internally to get more what they'd call like corporate in or whatever. And they were talking about what the future of it is. And they were like, right, well, you know that spider cam in the middle? You know these spider cams? Yeah. The guy was saying, this was like an architect or a building expert. He was like, what we're looking at in the future is, could we have some kind of lounge like where the spider cam is?
What? And he was like, so basically, he was like, basically, you'd have this lounge that floated above the pitch, and it would just like, and he was serious. He was like, imagine what people would pay for that. And he said, all we've got to do is work out how to do it. And he was like, and then the next thing would be, you wouldn't even be at the stadium, but every like player or certain players would have like a visor on their helmet, and that visor would have a camera in it, and you'd have VR headsets on, and you would pay to be in that view for the entire game. And this is so basically what they're doing is they're working their way backwards. They're coming up with a mad idea and then going, right, how do we do that? Yeah. But like a floating lounge that follows the game. What? That's like something out of Star Wars or something, isn't it? That's just.
What would the people do if you're like in a top tier or something? You just have a massive lounge floating in your
exactly obstructed view. What is it? It's a lounge, mate. Like what the? And I think he even mentioned. I don't know if he did or I'm making this up. Like it would have like a glass floor, so like you could. What?
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, what's going on? But someone will work out a way of how to do that. Someone will, because that's the world we live in, isn't it? Mr. Rage 99 on the super chat says, thanks mate. Says, hi lads, hope you're well. Got my season ticket finally. Do you see the last game of Goodison being mentioned on main UK news? I'm in the RAF and there are rumours of a flight past. Yeah, of course it'll be on the news. Yeah, it'll be on the news and everything. They'll make a big deal out of it. It's why Everton wanted it the second to last game of the season, not the last game of the season, so that it will be talked about. And that's sadly why I imagine Monday is being muted, so it's even more on its own.
So that's the only game then.
Yeah, fly past. Yeah, I could see Dan Friedkin leading the fly past in his Spitfire.
We'd love that. He just flies over Goodison, flies over Bramley Moor. They should like stream it from the plane. Well, me and Baz, when we were in America last time, there was a flyover of when we were in when they're doing the national anthem. Yeah. And it was just like, and you're like looking up like that as it flies past and all the smoke and everything. It is good. I mean, listen, all that stuff, all that pageantry is not something. I hate national anthems, full stop. But national anthems at a sporting event, I just don't get, unless it's a national game. I just don't get it. Like they were doing the national anthem for like England, like the UK, and I was just, what do you want me to do? I don't care. I'm not singing about some fella. Well, it was a lady then. Yeah. I'm not singing about a person. So anyway, but like, it just made me laugh. We just standing going, what do we do? I haven't got a hat to take off. Someone buy me a hat. No, I think the last game will have loads of bits and pieces in it, but
so you wouldn't want like a festival or a concert at Goodison, no?
No, I didn't say I didn't want that.
No, but you were saying before that.
Oh, about locking the doors.
Yeah, I was football. So I didn't get to bring it up.
Sorry, football wise, I wouldn't want.
You would say they had like a festival on.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm not against, as long as it wasn't like. I can't really say any names.
Jamie Webster.
I don't want to upset. Well, Jamie Webster's not playing it, is he? I don't want to upset anyone, but it would have to be like good, wouldn't it? It'd have to be good, wouldn't it? I seen one yesterday. Someone said to me, "Oh, they're doing it." Because I mentioned this, I'd mentioned about the Monday night, and someone said to me, "Oh, they're doing. Oh, it's on the Monday night, and they're doing a thing on the fan plaza down there beforehand." I was like, "Okay, mate, if you say so," but. You know, I don't think that's real, but that's something Everton have got to capitalise on the future, the fan plaza, because that's another place we can have concerts and stuff. So you got to make full use of that. Bob the Blue, I don't know where you are to say the national anthem is awesome, mate. You need to give me more context. If you're in France or Italy or Canada, then you're right. Your national anthem is awesome.
It's like the Welsh one.
The Welsh one is amazing.
Was it Morocco that got everyone hyped at like the World Cup?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
I can't remember. I just know the Welsh one.
Bob, I don't know where you are to say ours is the best. You need to give me some context of where you are. If you are in the UK, then you are 100% wrong. The UK national anthem is awful. Absolutely awful. You're singing about one person. No. The national anthem should be about the nation, therefore about the people who live there, not one fella or one lady who have got imaginary status above us all. There you go. Scotland does have a good anthem. Wales has a good anthem. Basically, everywhere has a good anthem, but England, but the UK.
What about doing the haka like New Zealand?
Yeah, that's tremendous. America's like, America, I get the anthem. I just don't like how the anthem is used.
Yeah.
That's all.
They're just too proud in a way.
Brainwashed.
Yeah.
Hide you, mate. Hide you.
Yeah.
Hide you as soon as you're in school. Hide you. It's full on hide you. Bob's still not come back to me and tell me where. He's just said ours is the best. He could be from Mars. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, fine.
No, Trellis, the UK anthem isn't the best because it makes other countries here, every other country that hears it mad. No, the French is the French and the Italian ones. When you see players singing, right, and they've got tears in their eyes, you know that their national anthem's good. Our English players go, and they go to say Queen, and then they remember you have to say King.
Jordan Pickford always belts it out.
But I like the Italians, like the tears in their eyes. Yeah. Proper. Remember Italy during the Euros 2021, and they were like proper straining. It's amazing. And the French one is French kiss. French one. Welsh is good though, land of our fathers, but obviously sung in Welsh, absolutely amazing. Jerusalem should be the English national anthem. Jerusalem should be. And I'd tell you what, the Mars national anthem. Have you seen the videos of Mars where they just? Have you not seen the videos where it's just like
the drone ones?
Yeah, where it's just like where you hear that sound.
Yeah.
What's that sound? Have you heard them?
No.
So if you go on like YouTube or something and just put like Mars on, and there's this like noise in Mars, this weird humming noise. It's not like
creepy.
It is creepy. Yeah. It's proper. It's what you'd expect if there was a horror film set on Mars.
Just a weird sort of.
Just a weird like hum. Sounds a bit like Chris in there. No, that Chris Pajak probably can't. He's crying about Trent again. Getting very.
Why would they be shouting that? We're on an international base.
I know. I don't know what they've got to shout. What are they shouting about? Is that a smell of burning? No, sorry. There you go.
Bob still hasn't told you.
He still hasn't told me. Carl, you're absolutely right. Jerusalem is the English national anthem, but never gets used. That should be the national anthem. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a national anthem person. I just don't believe in national anthems. The rubbish songs. Unless you're in every other country but this one. Do you know what our national anthem should be in this country?
What's that?
Mambo number 5.
Why?
Because it would just be amazing, wouldn't it? Everyone would love that. Mambo number 5. Because you'd all sing it, wouldn't you? Yeah. Think about it. The national anthem goes off and it's Mambo number 5. You're all like
a rave tune.
Dun. That's the thing. You've got to have a song that everyone likes already. James says he likes Flower Scotland. Why are we getting more messages about national anthem than we did about what we were actually talking about?
Yeah, we had nothing to do with the football.
People wonder why we start talking about random stuff, because people want to talk about random stuff. That's what gets weird.
You quizzed Harry on films, yeah?
I'm not great with
No. I have event 7. I have translated the French national anthem, mate. I know exactly what it's about. It's about the revolution and killing people, but it's about the people for the people. It's tremendous. Listen, I've got no issue with any of that stuff. The French have got bollocks, mate. They got their royal family and put it in the bin, quite literally. I'm well versed in my French history, my friend. There you go. Mambo number 5, though, for me, that's the winner. That's the real winner here. If we're
love that.
If we're doing it properly, just imagine it, like the England players. They could even coordinate. Could start with Harry King. And then work its way along every player. Be brilliant. I absolutely love it. Fletcher says Rule Britannia as a builder. Is it though, Fletch? Is it though? Again, it's about. Is it though? Sorry, I just massively dislike this country. We won't go into that. Anyway, so we all agree Everton have to just start coming up with better things, don't they? Is there anything in the new stadium? What's the number one thing? Anything that you'd love to see in the number, like a concert or anything that you'd love to see happen in the new stadium?
I think probably not this summer when we first go in, but the summer after. So once we've been in it for a year, they should do just like maybe like 7 nights of a big band or something. If they did a week.
What band then? What band? Come on.
Like Oasis or something. Just something massive that would
so-
get loads of people to go.
But what would be your preference for this band?
Oasis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I was hoping he said Sabrina Carpenter. I was really hoping. I wanted to get deep
7
in there.
nights of Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah. That sounds like a film. But we won't talk about that. Fair play.
Who would you pick, Ped? You have to have 7 nights to open Bramley Moor.
Monster trucks.
Just monster.
Just 7 nights of monster
You know
trucks.
what? I'd back it. I'd go to it.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
7 nights of monster trucks. And then followed by like just outdoor darts.
So you're on the darts train now.
No, because I just know it's popular.
Yeah, but you was moaning about darts.
I wasn't moaning.
Now
I
you're,
am-
you're accepting the darts.
I have no issue with darts.
But you weren't as accepting as you are right now. You
just
wouldn't have
don't-
offered darts as an option for Bramley Moor like a few months ago
Why wouldn't I?
because you was very angry for some reason.
I have no issue with darts. It's just not my thing. But I don't have an issue with it.
But now you want it in Bramley Moor.
I understand the popularity of it and where it could take Everton financially.
And Stephen Bunton's not allowed to go.
No, he is allowed to go.
Liverpool fan?
But you boo him, though. You give him the bifters. He's just not allowed to win.
Yeah.
That's
He
the
doesn't
thing.
win
You
anyway.
gotta rig it, make his darts heavy.
That's the thing. You gotta make it. Gotta make it. There you go. What would that? Yeah, I think that's. See, for me, it's all about Paul McCartney, right? It's all about getting Paul McCartnney in there.
Yeah.
If I'm being truthful, like five nights of like Paul McCartney, and I know people go, "Well, he hasn't got a voice and all that." Trust me.
It's still just a Beatle.
He is a Beatle.
If you
There is
could
only-
choose, when would you have it this summer or the summer after?
I'd have it. You got to be careful with old Sip or. I'd want it the following summer,
Yeah.
just so everything's perfect. 5 nights of just so everyone gets a chance to go, and in fact, I'd try and get all 5 nights if I could. But everyone gets an opportunity because he's the last Beatle with talent alive.
Yeah.
And honestly, everyone, I've said this a million times, whether you know anything about him or not, everyone needs to go and see him. Because everyone, it's like that.
Just give him an Everton scarf and let him perform there. And we've won.
Do you know what? I wouldn't even get involved in all that stuff. I'm not that bothered about all that stuff because we had that in the summer. Loads of people were like, Taylor Swift's going to start singing You'll Never Walk Alone and all that. It's like, mate, she's played 300 dog gigs. Do you honestly think she walks out at Botafogo's ground and starts knowing the anthem? No, Ringo, you can bring Ringo on to play the drums like he does when he plays in London. Ringo can't come back to... Ringo can't come back to Liverpool for some reason. Honestly. But honestly, yeah, you'd have to do like 5 nights of him. It'd be amazing, the whole thing. That's how you like get your first concert at Bramley Moor to do properly, like a week of just Paul McCartney or every other day for like a week, because he might need a break in between some days because he is like in his 80s. Yeah, and then you're right, you try and get like you just try and get the best people in the world to play there, basically. Yeah. And that's the thing for me. It's about getting the best. This is what I was saying about the arena. Like the problem with Liverpool, I've heard people go to me, "Oh, but we've got the M&S arena." It's like who plays there? Who plays in the M&S arena? That's big. Nobody. I know they had the wrestling last week, but the wrestling will play anyway. They're not
You
asked.
can get an arena that will take the people away from the Co-op one in Manchester.
Exactly.
Get like Sam Fender or something.
Yeah.
If you got that here, that would just produce so much more.
Oh, James is going to see Sam Fender in
I'm
Sefton
gutted.
Park.
Their tickets came out the other day for, well, not came out, but some resale ones came up for the London Stadium, and I'm skinned, so I can't afford it. But I was gutted.
Dingios? Oh,
You're not going to Sefton Park?
No.
he's not from Liverpool.
Yeah, but he comes down, doesn't he?
I know, we ain't got a postcode.
You didn't have to have a postcode. I
Very
he's probably got a
small
postcode.
chance,
How
wouldn't
much are the tickets?
You're only like 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'll have a look at that. Man.
See, anyone having a go?
I bought it on a live show.
Anyone, he did, and we allowed it because
Fair enough.
that's the kind of freedom we allow our slaves. Yeah. No, it's like when people go, oh yeah, we've got the M&S Arena, and you're like, nobody plays at the M&S Arena. Yeah. Nobody big. Sabrina Carpenter, whether you like Sabrina Carpenter or not, she's just played there.
She's McCartney, name, yeah.
McCartney played there in December. He didn't even come to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere big enough for him to play in the winter months. So that's why we need an arena. Sugar Babes was coming to Bootle though. That's big news. That is big news.
It always goes back to Bootle.
I'm not being funny though. Did you see them last year at Glastonbury? See how many people went to see them?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I did watch a bit.
There was like safety concerns, and they had more than whoever was on the main stage. Why don't they ever learn and just go, yeah, let's put Sugar Babes as a headliner then? People love that.
But if you're buying it to Glastonbury and one of the headliners is the
people
Sugar
just
Babes.
want to be happy and entertained.
I know, but
have you seen who the 3 are this year?
Yeah.
Would you go and see any of them?
Probably not.
No.
They were all right. They went.
Oh, Olivia Rodrigo's fine, but I wouldn't like. There's
some like a 1975 fan.
They're horrendous. They're horrendous, mate. They're like this generation's status quo. The lead singer is the biggest dickhead going. Right?
He's with Taylor Swift, ain't
he? He's the biggest dickhead going. But there's other bands playing at the same time as some of the headliners who are better than them. Yeah. People are going to go.
Happened with Lana Del Rey, and they were on it like, I don't know, AC/DC or something like that, and everyone went to Lana Del Rey instead of them.
Because sometimes it's not about like the coolest band. Sometimes it's just how people like, and that's why you won't be able to get near Bootle in the summer. And maybe we should add Sugar Babes as our opening night. Maybe we should have Sugar Babes at Goodison. Maybe they'd be pushing
the festival.
They'd be pushing all the buttons. There you go.
How they get to here?
This is what happens. This is what happens when I'm left alone to do my work. Yeah. So we need an arena, a train station, new bridge, monster trucks. You need a new bridge to get the monster trucks over.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the monster truck idea.
Yeah. Monster trucks are amazing.
Although, what if it just ruins Bramley Moor before?
I don't think we can get monster trucks inside Bramley Moor, if I'm honest. I don't think that's big enough.
Drop them from a helicopter or something.
Well, like a Chinook.
Yeah. I don't know what a Chinook is, but sure.
You don't know what a Chinook helicopter is?
It's like one of the army ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, she's
the ones with the 2 propellers, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you know about helicopters?
I don't know.
Common sense, isn't it?
I think I've seen
just literal common sense.
Yeah, it's just I've seen them flying over like the army bases and stuff.
It's just common sense.
Feel robbed.
They
didn't teach you that in GTA or COD.
And Chinooks in GTA?
Probably are, yeah. Looking at it, it looks like something you see in GTA. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Dingo's playing there as well. Any Billy Ocean's playing Bootle.
Yeah.
Get him involved. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Well, there was that report yesterday. We're going to finish in a minute. I know we're just waffling now. There was a report yesterday. Don't know if you've seen it, but the NBA are trying to expand to Europe, and they're willing to pay. They're willing to. They want football clubs to have basketball teams, and I know some already do in Spain because it's massive in Spain. So Real Madrid and Barcelona have football clubs that are associated with them. In fact, before then, the ground got knocked down. Next door to the new camp used to be where their B team played, and they had an arena for their basketball and handball teams as well. So the NBA is saying that they want to start a league over here, but using football teams as the way in. So you'd have like, it said big teams, so you'd have like, I don't know, Man United basketball team.
Will they be called Man United or be called the Red Devils?
No, they'd be called, could be called Man United Red Devils or something like that. So Everton used to have a team called Everton Tigers. Do you remember that? So Everton used to have so basically there used to be a basketball team. In fact, one of our viewers, Henry Mooney, used to work for Everton. Used to be the manager years and years ago because my mate played for them. They were called the Toxteth Tigers.
Yeah.
My mate played for them years ago. Gavin.
Mersey Tigers. Then
they were changed to like the Mersey Tigers. Then Everton got involved, and part of Everton community rebranded it, and they played some games down at the Echo Arena, and I went to watch them, and it was sound.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, obviously it's not NBA, but it was good. It was good to be. I think the tickets didn't cost that much, and it was good. I've actually got a hoodie at home. It was a Nike. It's a Nike Everton Tigers hoodie.
Yeah.
So I'll bring that in to show you. So Everton had this team, but in the end, it wasn't, because I think the money was coming from Everton community. Everton couldn't keep it going, and then I'll be honest, I think they started playing. They opened up in Heighton. They started playing in this brand new sports centre because it had a decent sized thing. But if Everton could do that, if Everton had like a team that played regularly in an arena, there's another reason, isn't it? If you've got a regular team to play in an arena and people go and watch it, it just depends, I suppose, what the appetite for people and basketball is in this city. And if it's not a big market, then you probably wouldn't do it. But that's what they're looking to do. And we spoke about it yesterday, so interesting. There you go. Any more things you want to throw into the mix?
You put me on the spot here.
Yeah, just you know. Did you wear a cap and gown yesterday?
I did.
Did you throw your hat in the air?
No.
No.
Why not?
I wasn't in High School Musical.
Don't
You've got to do that all the time.
Doesn't everyone do that?
I mean, you see, like, you're walking through and you see people like doing little videos and the mum's like recording it, but I thought,
No.
None of that.
None of that.
none of that.
No.
I did have to wear it though, and it was roasting, wearing a suit and then that on top of it, and then
Where was it?
in the cathedral,
Which one? We've got two.
the big one.
The Anglican Cathedral.
That one.
What do you
It
mean,
was the bigger one.
sure?
It wasn't like the one that you go up all the steps to.
So the Anglican Cathedral,
Yeah.
not the Catholic. You do understand one's Anglican and one's Catholic, don't you?
Yeah.
Don't say yeah. Like you're when you say yeah, it makes you look like the idiot, not me.
Anglican. Say
Anglican,
that word.
as in Church of England.
Yeah.
And the other one,
I do actually know that.
which used to be called
I was-
Paddy's Wigwam, as in it's Catholic, so therefore it's Irish, so therefore Paddy, which is a racist stereotype.
Are you being racist on the channel?
No, I'm not. I'm saying it used to be called Paddy's Wigwam till people wised up. So that's a slur. So the other one used to be called Paddy's Wigwam. Did you know that?
No.
No, you do. Education. Boom.
Teach me about slayers.
Now you're a master.
A master of slayers.
So now you know. So the big one is, yeah, that's Anglican. That's a really nice cathedral.
Actually, it's really nice, isn't it?
It is. I've been to the top of that.
How was it?
High.
Was you scared?
No.
Fair enough.
I've jumped off a cliff
Which
It's
cliff?
flexing.
in Wales.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and Baz jumped off a cliff. We were left hanging there for 10 minutes because the fella got a phone call to say his wife had gone into labour.
Oh, no.
And we're just dangling on the side of a mountain,
Just hanging about.
just hanging about.
Good experience.
And then we jumped off the top balcony. It just felt like tripping down the stairs. But with a big rope on your back, because if you're tripping down the stairs, you might break your neck. So. There you go. There you go. I've got more facts if you want me to drop facts.
Go on.
Well, I was just gonna say on the Catholic Cathedral, they originally designed it to be the largest Catholic cathedral in the world, and the Vatican weren't too happy about it and wouldn't let them. They were like,
Wow.
"No, lad,
What's the one in Barcelona? I've been to that one.
that's Gaudi. They're not. Is it Gaudi's?
The one that's not proper.
Not finished.
yet.
Hasn't been finished. It's going to be finished now. 2 years. Gaudi, yeah, it's Gaudi's
That's pretty
cathedral.
cool, that
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
fair play. I mean, you know, if you want to get into religious buildings, then let's do it.
What's your least favourite religion?
What can we? No.
Oh.
Let's not do that. That's that could start trouble. That could start trouble. James, you're absolutely right. Americans do call it Patty, and they are idiots. I have no issue saying this. Anyone who calls St. Patrick's Day St. Patty's Day, you're an idiot. It's St. Patrick's Day or St. Paddy's Day. They do not call people Patty. If your name's Patrick, people call you Paddy. They do not call you Patty. So stop calling it St. Patty's Day, for God's sake. Quite literally. There you go. There you go. Apparently, one large individual says the cathedral is actually called Sagrada de Familia.
Familiar.
That's what it's called, but it's
I spoke about that in my GCSE exam.
and you just forgot that word.
No, I knew what the name was called.
So why didn't you say that
I
then?
just didn't know what religion it was.
I don't know what religion it is.
What religion are they in Spain?
Well, it's Catholic. It's a
don't know.
Catholic country, so
Oh,
I'd
so it's
imagine it
probably
is
Catholic
Catholic.
then.
But you can't always rely on that, can you?
I'm gonna search it. Give it a search.
You
yeah.
do it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. This is what I always say. Don't ask stupid questions when you've got phones in front of you. It gets rid of a phone. A quick thumb on your phone, honestly, makes you look like the most intelligent person in the world. Why do you think I've got a laptop and a phone in front of me? When I get asked that questions, my hand just wanders over and suddenly I've got the answer. There you go. There you go. Do you ever look at a big city sometimes and just think this would be an amazing map for COD?
Yeah.
In Germany, the old time. That's what I was thinking.
Were you like getting the sight lines? Yeah, going that corner there.
Seeing where that's go for A.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
What's your favourite COD?
What's my favourite Modern Warfare 2? Because it's a campaign. Because I'm not a child.
You don't play multiplayer?
No.
That you can call me a child, but that's poor from you.
It's not poor from me.
That is.
I like
Harry, what's your FIFA?
I
like the way you
17.
Going to say
17.
It was alright.
14.
16 or 17.
Yours is 40. I thought you was like 06 or something.
No,
Marco
it was
Royce on
terrible.
the front was class.
We played
used to say to
PES.
me-
We played PES.
Yeah, and when I joined this job,
No.
I said FIFA 14 was my favourite, and you was like, oh, PES 6.
Oh, the World Cup
No,
14.
PES 6, not FIFA 6.
Same thing.
They're not the same thing.
Anyway, what's your favourite footy game?
PES.
And what one?
PES 2 to 6. They're the greatest.
That's 4 different.
They're the
ones,
greatest. Yeah, but they're
You need to pick one.
But they're basically the same game with like kit changes and a few little alterations. PES 02 to 06 are the greatest games of
Better than FIFA 14.
Oh, by the moon.
No way.
By the moon. Honestly, put it this way.
I mean, I've not played them.
You go on the moon and it's silent. You go to Mars and there's a hum. That's PES.
PES as a hum.
PES is a hum. Honestly, it's got a hum. It's got boss colours and it's got a little bit of, an atmosphere. The moon's got nothing. That's FIFA.
Was this not though when it was like, the way Footy Manager is and you can just see the circles above the head?
No.
Oh.
Are you on crack?
2006. That's
What are you talking about? But what makes it worse is you make yourself look stupid by asking these questions, not me.
I think
you're trying to make me seem old, and I am like most people who watch this are like my age. So you're making you look stupid.
I'm watching it now.
You can't watch it now, though.
What do you mean?
You can't watch it now as your age because it will look rubbish because you've played FIFA now. It's like looking at special effects from the 80s and going, wow, they look terrible.
You can still say it's a good film, though.
But that's because you're watching it. You're not playing it, are you? You've got to play the game to experience it. PES was like in a different universe to what FIFA has ever been.
But why was it in a different universe?
Because it was so much better. It was like, I can only explain it in one way, right? Imagine playing the game and you're playing the game and you're trying to defend, right? And someone has a shot and you think it's covered and it hits someone on the back of the arse, goes the other way, correctly goes the other way. So the science was spot on. And your keeper is going one way and he has to go the other way and just miss it. Like that's how I can explain. The gravity in the game was perfect. No, you laugh at
Gravity.
that. You laugh at that, but then you just get FIFA, get a ball at the edge of the box and just go wah, and it go top bin. Whereas like PES was just, honestly, it felt. Anyone who plays it understands. It felt perfect. The science to it, the weight to the game was perfect.
Someone said International Superstar Soccer was better.
No, but that's PES.
Oh.
That was PES before it was PES. They changed the name to Pro Evolution Soccer. It used to be called. It's the same game. It's Konami, and it wasn't better. I guarantee it wasn't better.
FIFA's crap now, but like between 13 and 18
it was
when it was good.
Because what happened was PES couldn't make the step up to PS3.
Yeah.
And FIFA could. And I had FIFA for 12, 13, 14 because PES just become terrible.
14 had the World Cup licensing as well.
That was what was good, yeah.
And I've got them with all the Everton covers on as well, all the FIFA games.
They used to give them in the shop.
Yeah.
I remember.
But honestly, I can't tell you how good PES was. It was people. The reason people didn't like PES then and don't like PES now is because it didn't have the licenses. But half of the fun was you'd buy these USB sticks, right?
I've done that
For like a tenner.
Yeah.
You plug it in, and then it would either obviously Konami knew, so they allowed people to make their own stuff, which is still going on now. You plug it in, and
Data
it would update all the teams.
Yeah.
But then you go in and like it had all the things. So it didn't have the license for some boots, but it had all the bits to make the boots.
Yeah.
So I spent hours just making boots. It was boss. I absolutely loved it. Honestly, I can't say it. Me and Baz is a quite rational person. You know that. He loves Pez as much as me. Anyone our age, it's Pez.
Well, when I started playing games, everyone was just like, yeah, Pez was just the worst one.
No, it wasn't
same
though.
with me.
But all the intelligent people played Pez. All the people who just wanted to put on a game and go, oh, it's Everton and Everton have got a kit. They played that. And if that's what you want to do, sound. But you can't. Oh man, we played the Japanese version. We played. It was called Winning 11, right? Because it come out 6 months before. But it was all the Japanese teams. We'd have our PlayStations chipped, so it'd play Japanese games, and we'd get winning 11, and all the commentary was in Japanese, and it was so much better. They'd have come out with stuff called Cherry Kanda. It was boss.
Where does Footy Manager fit in for you?
Doesn't fit in
Manager's
anywhere,
class.
mate. Doesn't
What
fit in
game?
anywhere. I don't believe in a game where you set it up and then just press a button and it sims it.
No,
But
because you impact the game with
That's
like
fu-
your subs and that.
no, I don't. I
Footy Manager.
haven't got time for that kind of nonsense.
Wow.
But
I would have thought you would have been the opposite to that.
no.
I can sit there for hours just playing Footy Manager.
No. That's fine. I don't go against your choices. I'm just saying, Pez is not a choice. It is the only way.
But only playing the story mode on COD's weird.
It's not when the stories are good. I find online gaming is just, number one, I was brought up with it. I was brought up with proper games that took a long time to finish. And I like stories. I like not knowing the choices of where it's going to go, like in a film. Playing an online game to me is, number one, you have to have the time to put into it. And if you're playing against other people who have the time and you don't have the time, then you're just instantly going to die all the time. And that to me is not fun. So, die, respawn. Oh, I'm going to the gulag. Oh, Sam, now I've got to fight someone who's much better than me in the gulag. Oh, I'm dead. Now I've got to wait for it to spawn again. Blah, blah, blah. Do it again. I don't want to play. I want to play a game with a story.
But it's also just fun playing.
It's not
multiplayer.
fun.
It is.
Well, it might be fun for you
It
because
is.
maybe it's fun. Maybe it's fun. But always remember this. You couldn't have got home the other day if you didn't follow me. Always remember that.
It all goes back to that.
Always remember. I will always have that.
Yeah.
I will always have the fact that I won't even say it. I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, we're going to get Pez out. So we're going to get Pez out. We're going to have a game with it.
Yeah, go on then.
We're going to do it. And you're going to understand the weight of this game and how
Weight.
great it is.
The
That's
gravity of it.
The gravity of this game, honestly. It honestly, you'll feel like Sandra Bullock in that film called Gravity.
Nice.
That's how amazing it's going to be.
Speed.
There you go. I can't believe people are still watching, if I'm honest. But there you go. Over 500 people are, and we commend you for watching. I reckon we have a 5 minute. Let's have a 5 minute poll. COD or online or offline gaming.
I know story.
Yeah, online or story. Let's do it. We're not having weather chat.
Story games are good as well. Like the Fallen Order and that, they're fun. But if you get online, like 2017 Fortnite, that was class.
No, that's Fortnite.
You were never. Not
See,
even
now
like
you're even cutting yourselves
No.
apart.
Not even like 2017.
No.
No, I was Fortnite was too much for me. I was
Really?
behind the curve on that.
Fair
Just
enough.
COD only.
COD was good.
Now you can't even agree on online games. You're cutting yourselves now.
Best FIFA game mode, Pro Clubs.
Say that again.
The best game mode's Pro Clubs.
Yeah. Or career mode.
How long is it taking you to set this?
It's up.
Is it? I can't see it.
My yeah.
Now it's up.
Just gotta give it a minute.
Go on. What type of game is better, online or story? Got 5 minutes.
I'm going on my phone to both.
See, Emma's never played it.
I'm gonna be battered.
Emma, what's disappointing is that he's your ex. That's what's disappointing. Someone who played Pez is a keeper. And I'm slightly disappointed by that, Emma. That he's your ex. but you know, why we don't need weather chat when we've got all this amazing stuff going on. Look, he's logging into different accounts.
To be fair, you're whacking me.
That's because people at my age or around my age, they're not your age. That's why I knew I was going to win this.
I know, it's looking like it's going to be comfortable as well.
What is it at the moment?
73 for story, 27 for online.
There you go. Also, the reason why we played story modes and didn't play online stuff wasn't just because we didn't have online stuff. It's because we went out and saw our mates. It's because we actually went out and saw them and played footy in the street or whatever. Like, playing footy online wasn't our substitute for not playing footy. Again,
we did both though. Footy and
you didn't though. You didn't, because me and him would still run rings around you two. Because the last two young whippersnappers in here challenged us, and we destroyed those two as well. So let's not get into that. Let's not. I'm still waiting for my phone call off KSI, because I would destroy everyone on that Wembley pitch. I don't care if I'm 46. Baz would still destroy all of them easily. Baz was waiting for Lineker to call him his number out for the Ballers League. He thought they were tight. He thought
they were on international break this week.
Yeah. If Carragher had been in, you would have got, he's got no number, but Bazzy Cass, where are you? That's what he would have said. Emma, what have you said? I've missed it. Hang on.
He was ginger.
He was ginger. That sounds even better, Emma. Even better. Don't kid yourself. Brian Ball says online games are full of players that just play all day and casual players have no chance against them. Exactly.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah.
It sounds like a what?
Skill issue.
It sounds like a job issue.
I've got a job. I mean, this is a push, yeah.
Yeah, Carl says story. Uncharted is the perfect example. All four were amazing. The Last of Us 2 went to agenda pushing, but Uncharted was good. No, what agenda was Uncharted 2 pushing? What are you talking about? Uncharted 2 is perfect, as is Uncharted 1. Agenda pushing. Because the girl was a lesbian. There are lesbians in the world, you know. And if they're all like Ellie, I back them to save us from the mutant hordes. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's The Last of Us, is it?
Yeah.
I've seen that. I haven't played the game, but I've watched the series.
The game, no, they're equally amazing, but the game is just, you're playing it, aren't you? You're the player.
True.
You're playing the game. Anything.
Wait, so you're saying you prefer story mode games to TV shows?
No. They're their own things.
I know, but
I wouldn't play one rather than the other, but what I'm saying is, no, I mean, The Last of Us is very unique because it's an amazing game and it's an amazing TV show. And there's things in the TV show that are not in the game.
Mm.
And I don't know what will be in the second series that was in the game. In fact, the second series won't be the whole of, because it's too big. There's too many narratives going on.
Mm.
So that'll be like 2 or maybe 3 extra seasons of the show will be because of it. And also, like, I mean, Red Dead Redemption is just.
I mean, I've played that.
You could never make a TV show of that properly, though.
It's too big.
It's not only too big, but it's the enjoyment of going out and doing the things you do in the game. It's a different thing. Story mode 76%. Just a beautiful win. Eddie says Pokemon has a good mix between online and story. Eddie, I only read that out because you paid for it. I would never have read that out if you'd put that in the comments. Remember that thing with Pokemon where you could actually go and find them in the street and everyone was raving about it for about 5 minutes and then people getting run over because they weren't looking and people died and Pokemon caused the deaths of people.
It's big in America, wasn't it?
Everything's big in America.
I just remember seeing like videos of people going out with loads of battery packs so they could go and catch loads of Pokemon.
Emma says, was like living in a war zone. He played COD with surround sound on till 4 a.m. So COD is effectively helping to break up relationships that are stable. And you've got that on your conscience. You're playing games with people who are having relationship issues.
I know, but I want to be the one to cause them issues. That's how good I want to be at the game.
Fair play. James just wants you all to be single. That's all I'm saying. Because he just wants to destroy you. He wants to destroy you. Right, it's R2. I think we should probably go. We're gonna call 75% of believe story modes are better, and that is the right answer. That is the right answer. The children who never got to play out in the street probably weren't even allowed to run down and get an ice cream off the ice cream man on their own. Never even seen a candy floss man. And
we blame your generation for it.
Don't blame me. I'm not a parent.
Well, it's your generation.
I'm not a parent. But I think where I am is where you guys should be, but it's not. I'm afraid. I'd have you all still playing out in the street, but you know, it's blame the people who go round.
Nonsense.
I didn't say that. Emma says, I couldn't even get past level 1 on Sonic the Hedgehog on Mega Drive. Give up on the console. That sounds like a life issue more than anything, Emma. That sounds like that's a life issue. I won't read out your next comments. I don't think that's appropriate. There you go. Well, it's gone down to 74%. Should have got out while we were.
See, come back on.
Leslie says, I was that candy floss man. Do you know that a man used to go around the street in a van
like
selling
an ice cream man?
Yeah, but candy floss. Do you ever have the lemonade man by yours?
Yeah, we did.
The lemonade man?
My auntie used to get it and she'd give us them. It was just in a glass bottle. I thought
I don't know if these are just scouts. So there used to be a fella and he probably still are. Fella used to go.
No, they still think, yeah.
Fella goes round, big van full of lemonade.
Fair
But it'd be like lemonade, cream soda, dandelion and burdock, and all be in big glass bottles.
Yeah.
And then when they come back the following week, you get 12 pence for your bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Recycling.
That's pretty cool.
This is recycling before people, give it labels and stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had the ice cream man, who the ice cream man still comes around, still hear the chimes and all that kind of thing. You can get more than just. You can get all kinds off the ice cream man, but again, I'll leave that there. Good stuff. 73% now. I just feel like people are voting the other way. People are just voting against me.
We had more time.
If we had a younger demographic, maybe the comeback would be on if we had a slightly younger demographic. But there we go. Just your 27% for online gaming. What's just before we go? What's your thoughts on them making a film out of Minecraft?
Oh,
what's all that about?
I mean, I probably will watch it, but
that's because you
just go the pictures off.
Yeah,
I mean, Jack Black as well doing it. That's crazy.
Yeah. And Emma, we did have a person who's coming our street with the videos, yeah, and also
I used to have them.
They rented out some of them rented out consoles as well. You could get a console for the weekend.
No, we used to have a DVD man that comes to my nan's every Sunday, and he'd have a little booklet of DVDs.
Did
we'd
he?
Just go through them. The best of.
Was he real?
Of course they weren't real. There'd be recordings.
No, but we had real DVDs like that.
Oh,
like
a fella with a camera.
They'd open the boot and they'd just be rent them off them like.
We had the Simpsons film where you could see people get up halfway through and walk out. But it was great. I loved it.
Brilliant. Oh, story mode's now only 71%. The youngsters are coming in. They finished school.
Yeah.
They've all finished school. Willow Wilson says, wasn't Pat Mustard the milkman? Yeah, he was. Pat Mustard was. He was a milkman, yeah. Some people don't even have milkmen anymore, and that's sad. Yeah, Sylvan Distan was a milkman. Yeah, James, you got 10p back for your bottle. So that's it. You drunk your bottle and you made sure you put it in a safe place. So for next week when the lemonade man came back, he had 10 pence off straight off the bat for your cream soda and your dandelion and burdock. Which, I mean, who come up with that, dandelion? I mean, I don't even know what's in it, but who come up with that title?
Nice though, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful, mate. Who come up with dandelion and burdock as a flavour? And someone went, yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah. Are you mad? Are you from Charles Dickens or Shakespeare's era? What's going on? There you go. Emma says, part of videos where you've seen people getting up to go to the toilet in the cinema. There used to be some cinemas where they just didn't even get up, and I'm not saying anymore. Carl's still got a milkman. Good. So have we. Support your local milkman. That's all I'd say. Get yogurt off them now and everything. God, it's very Mediterranean. Carl also says Paperboy, the goat in gaming. You just wouldn't even know what Paperboy was. No. So when we first got like computers, right, they come on like tapes, and honest to God, it took you like an hour to just load, and then it did crash sometimes, like 2 minutes to go. But Paperboy was just so annoying. Basically, you went down the street and you were a Paperboy, and you had to throw papers at the houses, but avoid obstacles, dogs, cars. But like, you had like 3 lives, and it didn't matter how far in the game you were. If you died, you were back to the start. There was no saves or anything. Honest to God, you'd want to throw the computer out the window, but it was so heavy that you couldn't pick it up. The computer had its own room. Honestly. There you go. It's holding firm at 71% story mode, so I think that's acceptable. Cameron says it's probably from about 1834. Dandelion and Burdock. It was probably sold when Goodison opened. All right, mate. Duck Hunt on the SNES, and actually second player game. The second player controlled the duck. I know loads of people didn't find that out till recently, which is crazy for a game that's been around about 40 years. Right, there we go. Let's finish. We could literally do this all day and just talk about random nonsense, but we're not. So story mode's gone up to 72%. The people have spoken. This is how. You know what? If this was the electorate in general, the world would be a better place. The world would be a better place if this was the real electorate around the world. But unfortunately, the online players have somehow managed to trick the world. They tricked the world, and this is why we've got the world in the state it's in. So think about that. Think about that.
Kill all the kids.
Think about that. The French national anthem and Rob, story mode games.
Rob never told us where he's from either.
Bob never told us. He said we've got the best national anthem, and then refused to tell us where he lived. What's all that about?
America.
That's just keeping your powder dry, isn't that supposed to be? Yeah, I can say that. I can say I've got the best pair of shoes ever, and then you go shows your shoes, and we go no. No, I support the best football club in the entire world. Who sport? Not telling you. No, not telling you. It's basically Schrodinger's cat, isn't it? Yeah, it's basically his cat. Yeah, that's what I'd say anyway.
Doesn't want you to piss on his parade.
No. Right. It's gone back down to 71%. Let's go. Right. Bye.